Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to a very special interview with a very special guest. I'm joined this evening by one of the best featherweights slash bantamweights, a guy who's willing to fight at whatever weight class his body can make in order to forward his career. None other than Ian Holloway. Ian, how are you doing, young man?
Doing great, man. I appreciate that introduction, man. You said it the best. Ready to go whenever, wherever, whatever weight that my body can go at, and whatever the coaches want me to do, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and I tell it like it is. Um, I know your team has always wanted you to fight at or near the ICAF's bantamweight, which is about 122, but you've taken fights at 127. I want to say you fought Trevor at 130.
Yeah. So we've been around a little bit at Fighters Rep, even outside of Fighters Rep too. But
Yeah.
it's the amateurs, man. We're here for experience and to get and show myself, show my ability, my talent level, what I can do. And I think no matter what fight you look at with Ian Holloway in there, you definitely see that my talent, my abilities is going to carry out whatever weight class. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the attitude that I love in dealing with you. It's part of the attitude I love in dealing with your team, with the boys over there at HB Fight Club. It's what made you guys the Huntington Beach Bad Boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's Johnny. That's Johnny for sure. If you know anything about Johnny's career, Huntington Beach, you know about him, and even my other coaches, other people we're dealing with, the people there, anything about us. We're gamers. Look at Mills. Coming off of surgery, title fight. Wow, who does that? Come on. We're
Yeah.
ready to go 24/7. Chike. All the guys were specimens in our weight class. We'll jump around. And like we said, this is the amateurs. We're gamers, and we're ready to game.
Yeah. So, we're not getting you back for this card. But we had you on the last card. And, you put up a great performance against, again, one of the best featherweights, bantamweights, whatever it is, in the 120 pounds against Nathan Hawthorne. He was a guy that fought David Marquez at the previous Fighters Rep. And a lot of people, thought he won. A lot of people thought he lost. It was a very close fight. And your fight was also a very close fight, So you're like constantly bubbling around in this contendership status. What have you been up to since your last fight?
Trying to make that bubble pop. Honestly, I'm not one to be mediocre. I don't like that. I don't like taking losses, even though people like to say, "Oh, this is the amateurs. You're supposed to take tough fights, lose some, win some." Nah, man, this is fighting, dog. You're not supposed to lose, bro. That's not how this goes. So that's how I see things. And like you said, it was a close fight. I think it was a little bit closer than the scorecards tell. I think it was a close fight. You watch that fight, you see my caliber. And it's the same thing with that other fight with Nathan and David as well. The judges gave it to David that night. Nathan's a champion. It just wasn't his night. The judges didn't give it to him. Judges didn't give it to me. Nobody's going to sit around and moat and cry. We're going to try to figure out what we can do to get over that hump. And man, I'm young. I'm young. I'm young, on the rise. So I'm going to do what I need to do to get over that hump. And, fighting all these grown men now. So I got to get the strength on, got to put a little size on. But I'm going to be jumping around weight class. I got to be able to do the thing for real. So that's
Yeah,
what we're trying to do. And like I said, make the bubble pop.
And where should we expect to see you at next as far as like weight or what you're doing next? I mean, is it going to be in the Lions Den? Are you also looking at MMA, boxing? I mean, what is it that you're really trying to focus on here?
So definitely dip my toes a little bit into boxing. I love that. It was super fun. I'm a striker at the heart. I will always be a striker, but I think and I really believe that my striking will show something different in MMA. More to come in the future. We're definitely working on that. But I'm a kickboxer and I'm a Muay Thai guy. So I want to next year I'm going to run it up and I'm going to do multiple sports, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, do everything at the beginning of the year. I would love to be back with Fighters Rep, have a big fight, and do what's necessary to to grow. But until then, stay down, great sparring partners, and just be different, be different.
Yeah. Yeah. And, obviously, we're going to love to have you back. I mean, I do think kickboxing is definitely your wheelhouse. You've done really great things in the Lions Den so far. And You came on with a splash. I knew at that first fight, we had something special. You fought Sonny Corona. I won't forget it. And man, you just outdogged him. I mean, you were both technical. He was very technical. He kind of had to rely on his skill more because you were the more physical fighter, I thought. But I'd seen Sonny in the past. He's had some great coaches. He's training out of Black House, and I knew him, and I knew his skill level. And you just came out there and just, you outdogged him, man. It's almost like you always find a way to get through your opponent. Talk to me a little bit about that debut there.
Yeah, that was something different. That was, I think you said it the best, that it was a little bit of, he had the skills, and I think I had to show my power a little bit. And I think it's been a little mix of that in all the different fights. You get a little bit of whatever's best of me. I try to, if the fighter has better boxing, I'm gonna kickbox better. If the fighter has
Yeah.
better kickboxing, I'm gonna show my Muay Thai. And I think that was a great fight to get into the Lion's Den. I remember being a little bit nervous. It was my first real amateur show. I wanted to come and show myself so bad. And then, you get a 1-0 guy fresh off a knockout. And so I remember just running for that fight, and just knowing that I probably was going to have to use the physical ability to get by him. He looked like he could box a little bit. And I learned a lot about my skills that day, and definitely grew as a fighter. So that was very fortunate.
That was a great performance. By the way, Ian, I'm hearing like a ringing sound over and over again. That's really loud. What
Give me
is
one
what is
second. It might be. Let me hide the noise. I'm sorry. I
No
apologize.
problem. And while we handle that technical aspect, ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, be sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave your comments in the comment section or in the live chat right now. And if you drop any sort of super chat or super thanks money in here, it'll highlight your comment and also split the profit with Ian. A great way to support the fighters that you love here at FightersRep. So definitely do that. I'll also remind you guys that in less than 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, on November 18th, it's FightersRep 20. And Ian Holloway's teammate, one of the Huntington Beach bad boys, Milshawn Lathan's going to be taking on Michael Sugarbomb Claycomb for our very first light middleweight title. It's 159 pounds. We're excited about these varying divisions in the IKF because they allow us to create more title opportunities for fighters that aren't really middleweights or aren't really, welterweights, kind of like Milshawn and Michael Claycomb are. So it's great to have these different divisions. And I'll ask you, Ethan, man, I'm excited about this fight. And nobody knows Milshawn, if you ask me, better than Ian Holloway. You train with him all the time. Tell me what's going on with this fight and how you feel about this fight for him.
I think it's a great fight for him. I think Mills and Michael, I know the Claycombs, they're cool, real cool. I think it's a great fight. He's got great style. He's got a little knockout, a great knockout out of him. And I think it's a great fight for Mills to go to that next level, build his career. Michael will be a game opponent. He'll come out. But if you've seen Mills or if you've heard about him, he is he's an athlete. One thing about Huntington Beach Fight Club, we're all athletes, but Mills might be one of the most athletic when we're talking about, can do different things, can play different sports, can do, whatever. So in that aspect, he's scary. And then you want to talk about being able to download information, be able to switch it up. I've done Taekwondo for a long time. I'll do a spinning heel kick, do something in sparring. Two rounds later, not even a round, 2 rounds later, 2 punches later, Mills is throwing the same kick, just as good, just as smooth. And I'm like, hey, yo, use that in the fight. Do this. And his bag, it's continually growing. He's new to this. We're all new to this, and we're all going to continue to grow. And I'm super excited to see what Mills is going to do in this fight. So, great opportunity. And like you said, with the IKF rules and being able to go down in different weight classes and do everything, Mills is a good, another one of those guys that can do it. He can fight at multiple, different weight classes, whatever the matchup is. But this is a great matchup. Claycomb's coming to play. We've seen it. And I know him. And I saw the World Combat win. Shouts out to them. But Huntington Beach Fight Club, we're getting this one for sure.
I love Huntington Beach Fight Club, man. The Huntington Beach Bad Boys moniker is just, it's something about it. You guys got the shirts done. I still got the shirt. I still rock the shirt all the time. I love the personalities. One thing I love about you, Ian, is how passionate and how serious you are about this. But I feel like it translates into everything you do. You got a lot of stuff going on. Kind of tell me what you got going on that you're willing to share, and so people can know about it. And if anyone again wants to support Ian, reach out to him, reach out to me, drop a super chat, and we'll split it with him or do whatever we can to help him out. But tell me a little bit about what you got going on, because I feel like it really captures your personality.
Yeah, I tell everybody I'm a businessman. Go and do everything I can do, and I fight on the weekends. I fight when I have time, and it's something I love to do. I'm really passionate about martial arts, and it's changed my life and given me direction, stability, discipline, things I maybe didn't have when I wasn't training. And I saw how much it changed my life, made me a better person, more humble, more confident. I know that might sound a little bit crazy because I, portray myself super confident, and people tell me, "Oh, that's the thing." But people, you got to get confidence from somewhere. And martial arts, Johnny, my other coaches, my dad, my family has instilled a confidence in me that, I could be great. I always looked myself in the mirror and said, I could be great. I could do something. And I don't know why, I don't know why, but I always, all glory to God, man. I really believed I could be something. And so, like I said, man, handling business, working on my LSAT, working on going to law school. I want to take care of people. I think if you're going to be a fighter and you want to be all this and be a businessman, you should take care of people. So that's my thing. I want to be the guy to take care of the family, head of the table, making the money, giving back. If something goes wrong, I handle it. That's the type of person people tell me I am, and I work hard and diligently to be that. And I think it bleeds over into my fighting because I am professional, got the jerseys, got the t-shirts, got everything. And we're always trying to, promote ourselves, create a name, create a brand, and separate ourselves in that aspect. And I think we've done that. And, now's the time for me to go. And more importantly, and what I love is I'm trying to handle business. I want to fight more often. I think I'm already an active guy. I'm an active fighter more than
Yeah.
some of these other guys, and I take tough fights, and there's no excuse. But I want to go on a real win streak, and I want to show my talents. My coaches tell me, "Hey, you could box." And my coaches tell me, "Hey, you could do Muay Thai." Obviously, we've done the kickboxing, and I see my opponents, fight in multiple sports. I've done it in the past. We had a kickboxing break for a minute, but just trying to do everything, man. Trying to do everything I can do, and just be in a position to give back one day. So, all glory to God, and God willing, that'll happen for me. And until then, just stay down and stay humble and keep working.
Well, you've definitely got a lot of support in this chat tonight. They're not stopping at all, and I'm loving seeing it. I appreciate you guys and your support for the channel, but especially your support for Ian Holloway. Ian, man, you mentioned all these different sports that you want to do and all these things you want to do. We just saw, and I wanted your opinion on this, we just saw Francis Ngannou do the unimaginable, right? Crossover from MMA to fighting the lineal heavyweight champion and basically giving him, one of the best fights he's ever had. How does that make you feel considering you're in the position that you're in?
It makes me feel like the world is there for me. You take Ngannou, for example, someone with a very rough, background, different than me, and was able to work his way up and was resilient, man, and it didn't work out for him all the time. It didn't. They told him you couldn't box at first. It wasn't working out for him. Lost his first title fight. Didn't work out for him. Went back to the drawing board, and now has gotten, the big payday, the big win, even though it was a loss, the big win in his life. And even you go back to McGregor, I seen these guys growing up. I say, hey man, okay, this is the way for me. I'm figuring something out. You see someone like McGregor, a businessman,
Yeah.
doing different things, going out there, and I say, hey man, I'm pretty smart. I fought before, I trained before too. Okay, I think I can do this. If I put it together And again, why we are taking some time to figure it out and make a real game plan so I can box, kickbox, Muay Thai, MMA, whatever I want to do, go to law school. You got to have a plan. You got to take time. You got to recuperate, regame, and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What can I do to evolve? And I think I always have done that, whether it was a win, a loss, a draw, whatever. But I'm at a crucial time frame in my life to get what I want and to make everything happen, like Ngannou, like a McGregor, or like whoever. And I'm not willing to sit on what I have right now and say, "Oh, I'm good," or with hope to luck that it'll work out for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. I don't care, and make my goals happen, make my dreams happen, and continue to change my dreams and try to get everything that I want, God willing. Like I said, all glory to God. I've been put in a really great position. Shout out to Huntington Beach, shout out to my parents, shout out to you. Fighters Rep has given me a platform so that promoters reach out to me or other organizations want me to fight for them. People know me because of Fighters Rep. They come up to me, and I'm blessed is the word, not lucky. I've worked hard for it, but it's because I'm blessed, man. I'm really grateful. So what can I say?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love to hear that, man. And one of the things I loved, or that I love working with you and your team, but especially with you in particular, right? Since we have you in this interview, is the standards you set for yourself, the professionalism, man. You're constantly on time. You market yourself. You know what I mean? You fight great. You don't miss weight. You're always down to fight whoever. You take on the toughest fights. And I think all those things are just going to, really propel you to that next level, and, I know you didn't get the results you wanted in the past couple fights after winning, your first 3 or 4 straight. But, I've definitely seen a progression in the Lions Den of your skill. I feel like you're constantly getting better every time you're in there. How do you feel like it's gone for you from when you started till now?
Yeah, I would disagree with one part that I didn't get the results that I wanted. Obviously, I want the win. That's a character on the whatever, the scoreboard and stuff like that.
No.
The whole point of doing this is to become a better man, become a better martial artist. And I really, really feel like I could be great at anything I want to do that I put my mind to and I'm passionate about. So I'm doing that. And again, like I said, I'm young, I'm new to this, and I'm in a position that not a lot of people are in. I have time to grow and do what I need to do to get to where I need to be. Um, yeah, I didn't get the win on, whatever day it was. God didn't want me to win that day, but
Yeah.
God gave me a whole lot more. God gave me a gym, Huntington Beach Fight Club, that's changed my life. And even after the win, I've gotten, more trainers. I've gotten more, the PT to take care of me, people in my corner that really want to see me win. They've seen what's happening and they say, nah, man, there's something special there. Okay, let's add to it. And I'm really grateful to have people in my corner to hold me down to, stick to the plan, what we're trying to do. But that I've had people in my corner also throw their hat in the race and try to give me a little motivation, give me what, extra, do more on their part to make my life better. And that's crazy,
Yeah.
to see me and say, hey, I want to put extra time into you or do this. And so I'm blessed, man. I'm grateful, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I see people fighting for titles that I beat. I see people fighting for titles that ducked me. And I'm gonna get it back because I love fighting. I watch the game. I watch all the other organizations. I watch them. I watch the pros. I watch everything. I really love this. I really live this. So I'm seeing it and I'm taking notes and I'm hungry, man. I've been hungry. You can see it. You can see the 6-pack. I need to put some fat on. So
I
I'm gonna
do. I do.
come. It'll come.
Yeah, you've been hungry since the moment I met you, man. It's just a different mentality. It's a real winner's mentality. It's a champion's mentality. And I think, it's only a matter of time before you've got some gold hanging up in your gym as well with your name on it. So, you know me, I've always been a supporter of Ian Holloway, man, and the Huntington Beach boys. And I love it. That's part of the reason we have you on here today, and I wanted to ask you too. I mean, you fought almost all of these guys. You were in the tournament, you're right there still in contention, right up there. And I kind of wanted your opinion on this fight on November 18th, Fighters Rep 20. This is your division. I know you're watching this with eyes wide open and
I'll be
chomping at
there.
the
I'll
and
be on stage. They'll see me. They'll see me.
you'll be chomping at the bit, I'm sure, to get the winner or whoever's in line next for it. And I kind of wanted your opinion. David Death Dealer Marquez, Mariano Corona. There's some heat there between them two. They don't seem to like each other very much.
I like that. I like that. That's how it should be.
Tell me what you think about this fight. What do you think happens in this fight? It's interesting.
I've known David for a long time, since I started training. I've seen him, knew we're going to have to fight at some point. Kind of one of those, if you're in the game, you're in the game. And then with Mariano, obviously came on the scene very hot. Mariano is, he's got that man strength. He's a power puncher. He does that. And, David is a little bit more finesse. He's got power, but I think it's more precision comes from his power.
Yeah.
And I think that fight is going to be a lot about defense. They're going to get off. They're going to score. I think you even see that in my fight with Corona. There's going to be, a firefight. And if you see David's fights, he embraces the firefight. So I expect, I don't expect that to go 5 rounds. I expect that to be a quick fight. I expect somebody to slip up for sure. I don't know who it's going to be. I know who I want to win. I definitely know who I want to win, and I definitely know who I want 5 rounds with, and to show them that, I'm the man there. And like you said, this is my division. They all mention me. They're all Instagram show me, so though I'll get it. I'll get my part 2, but enough said on that.
People talk a lot of shit about these lighter divisions, right? But this division at Fighters Rep, man, I don't give a shit what anybody says, man. This is like this is like one of the glamour divisions, if not the glamour division at Fighters Rep, with the personality and the skills, right? We've got you, we've got Corona, we've got Marquez, we've got Hawthorne. There's a lot of other guys in this division too that are like right there, man. I mean, how does that make you feel to know that you're one of these big personalities in this division that's just so hot, so competitive right now?
I mean, I love it because, again, 5 fights in, I'm fighting ranked MMA fighters, guys that have titles and, whatever. It's good for me because I want the best people, the best. If I'm going to fight, bro, why not give me the best fight? Don't tell me, oh, this guy's. I want the best fight that I could possibly get. I don't care if it's going to be a little tough, if I got to work a little bit harder. I want that. So I think it gives, for the people in our division and around our division, the chance to really excel. And if you're able to break out of that and differentiate yourself from that, okay, you might be able to do something in the pros, you might be able to do something and whatever you choose. And I think, especially for Fighters Rep, I think before I fought for you guys and how much I wanted to fight for you guys, and seeing the stars that you guys have had and the people come for, this division, my division, to be one of the premier divisions that people are coming to see. It's a lot of good, and shout out to the other guys. We're marketing ourselves well. We're creating good fights. We all have our little teams, and we're all trying to come to the top and stay there. But that's meant for Huntington Beach Fight Club, and we'll continue to hold that down. So I'm willing.
I got a couple questions for you now about this fight too. I mean, I mentioned the little bit of heat that they have between them. What do you think about that? I feel like it adds a little bit of spiciness to this fight.
I think it adds a little spiciness. I see what Mr. Corona is saying, because I'm a little giddy myself at the weigh-in. So I'm not hating on David. When you don't got to cut no weight and you see everybody else moping around, bro, I'm not gonna get sad because y'all are sad. I'm gonna enjoy myself and have a good time and be in my energy beat, because that's what I love to do, right? And that's what he loves to do. So I'm not gonna knock nobody on their own grind or what they. I love the little beef. I think it's a little adds a little bit to the fight, but I think that's just what Corona needs to get in the ring. He's mentioned it a couple times. He needs himself to get riled up. He needs that little fire. So David's playing into it. I think that's cool. That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So again, we'll see who it plays out with in the ring. I think a lot of things will have to go into that. I think we have to see, um, Corona go a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. If he just dominates with the leg kicks and the power and everything, or we'll see if David is able to get over the high tide. So it'll be a really good fight. And like I said, I'll be front row. I'll be there. Got my eyes on it, and we'll see what happens.
Corona's, like you said, he mentions he's got to have some sort of like ill will for his opponent or get himself up somehow. I mean, did he do or say anything towards you when you guys fought that made you like, feel that? Did he also have something to say when you guys fought?
No, I think you could just tell the vibe of people. Same thing. I was, how I am. I'm one to smile, show my face, and everything.
Yeah.
And he's trying to handle business. I understand if you cutting weight and doing everything. Why would you really want to be friends with your opponent? I don't really want to be friends with these guys because I'm trying to take your face off. I want training partners. I want to grow. As long as we keep it cordial, is good. Most of my friends in the fight game are 35ers that I'm probably not going to fight, or you know what I mean, like 40s, stuff like that. So I understand it, bro. Is it people are different? That's nowadays people don't. Everyone, it got to be the same way. Nah, it's cool. Some people want to be nasty and whatever. I understand that. I'm like that too. I just happen to get pretty beforehand. I get my nails done, put on a little bit of cologne, get my braids done, and then I'm gonna beat your face in. But that's just different. Some people don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I love that. I love to hear that. I also wanted to ask you, what do you think happens in this fight? You said you want somebody to win. If you could share that. But I also want to know what you think happens in this fight. Like if you were to give a prediction, what do you think would happen?
I have a prediction. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think they're going to put on a show, and I think it's going to be a great matchup for me next. I think they're fighting to fight me again, or someone's fighting to fight me again. A little bit into that. I think Karan is going to get it done. I hope he gets it done. No disrespect to David. I do like him. He's opened his gym to me and has trained with me. But I'm going to beat him for that title down the line, whether it's in a couple fights, David beats him and gets the title, But I'm standing on business, like the homie just said. I'm going to fight him again. He's old, man. I'm going to chase after him. I don't care if I have to chase after him until he's 85, dog. I will fight him again. I want this shit. Respectfully, no disrespect to anybody, but I want it, bro. I want to fight everybody. I don't think it was enough rounds for me, and I don't mind it. I'm not scared of what happened. I'm not scared of a challenge or anything like that. And like I said, his whole page is me, so I want him to promote me some more, and I think it'll be a great number 2. It'll be a great fight for FightersRep, and we'll get it back. So I'm loving that fight, and I can't wait to see what happens this weekend. And like I said, if my boy David gets it done, I know I'll get another chance at that boy or that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's say David wins, and down the line you have to fight David. I mean, I know you guys have trained. You mentioned he opened his gym to you a little bit. That's something you're willing to do. It's it doesn't matter to you that you guys have trained before. You're down to fight him.
We were in the tournament. I mean, we were slated to get up there before. We've talked about this before. That's the name of the game. He's been nothing but cool to me. So I am, no disrespect, not really trying to set up no fight, but I'm trying to set up a fight with the best fighters in California. And I want everybody that's around my weight class. And that was the problem when I met him. He said he was a 127, 122. I said, bro, that's me, big dog. This is my division.
Yeah.
So I understand, being cool. Again, I'm not going to be cool with everybody. I'm not trying to be cool with everybody. And that being said, I just want to fight the best fighters in California around. Yeah, normalize friendly fades. Come on, bro. I'm trying to fight the best people in California. Why are we fighters and you're not trying to fight the best dudes? I want California State champ Muay Thai, California State kickboxing. I don't want to fight a scrub, bro. I don't want to be a fake. These dudes nowadays want to fight someone smaller than them, get a dub, and act like they're the man. Nah, bro. Give me someone bigger than me, that looks better than me, that looks tougher than me, that want to eat me for dinner, and we get in the ring and let's do it. Let's do it. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I think exactly what Blackbeard said. We need to normalize friendly fades. This is the amateurs, dog. We're not getting no money off this. We're trying to get better. If I go to your gym and spar, we're getting brain damage, little bro. We're all getting damaged. Some we're messing up for the fight, whatever. So if we're gonna do it for free and try to better each other, why not do it for a platform and grow each other's, fan base, everything? And especially if it's good and you guys are friends, keep it friendly then. You don't need to be beef. But take Corona and David, for example, if it's beef, then it's beef. Let it be fire, let it be smoke. If someone's gonna have to thrive, no matter what, someone's gonna have to rise to the top, and that's fine. I want to be that. So I understand that it's gonna have to be some friendly fades.
And I love that comment from Jason Caldwell. Man, big shout out to Jason the Truth Caldwell. Big shout out to Blackbeard Kickboxing. What a great comment. Ian, I wanted to ask you, man. You've mentioned all these other sports. I mean, I feel like kickboxing is your wheelhouse. Kind of tell me about, your affinity to kickboxing, because I feel like you just keep coming back to FightersRep, right? I feel like it is your wheelhouse, but I'm sure you could do other things as well. But what is it about kickboxing for Ian Holloway?
I'm gonna say, what is it about FightersRep for Ian Holloway?
I appreciate that, man.
When I was sophomore year in school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do during that time. I started training again. And funny, actually seeing Granado get his knockout. And I'm like, what is this little fight promotion near the beach? Oh, they look pretty cool. They look pretty cool. Oh, this is near me. And I kept seeing you guys pop up a little bit more. And it was around the time One Championship really started flooding their YouTube as well. So I'm just getting this influx of martial arts coming into my impressionable brain. And it was, like I said, I saw the pros. It really was the pro Muay Thai fighters, to be honest. But I saw Rod Tang and Jonathan Haggerty, 5'7", 5'5", and I said, "Ooh, okay, I got the dimensions to do that. I can do this. I know the type of man I am." But like I said, your promotion stuck out. And I saw that on my Instagram. Right then, I was doing the fashion. That was what I was into. So I was just seeing people promote well and seeing what I could do to make my business grow in that aspect. And you guys were killing it in that aspect. And so I saw you guys, and it was great fights. Obviously, saw that. I didn't know too much about the California scene at that point, but I dove in, man. And to get on, I remember the first pro-am card we did. I think it was me versus Squirrel Muay Thai for the first time, and now we're on fourth, fifth time Huntington Beach versus Squirrel Muay Thai. Yeah. But it was the first time, no headgear, no shin guards, and I'm on the card with Caldwell, on the card with the Blackbeard guys, the guys that had got the belts, the guys on the poster. And I'm seeing the people that I looked up to and I wanted to train with and I wanted to grow from, and being in the room, I'm big to absorb energy. And it was just a great experience just to see it and to finally be a part of it. And so I'm just living my dream, man. Honestly, that's why I'm sticking with the kickboxing for a while till I get that FightersRep title around my waist. Because that was my dream at school. That was what was motivating me to. I didn't want to finish my classes. That I love business. I love stuff like that. But I'm and I love to learn. But I don't want to do homework and take a test and whatever. Yeah. But I was training, and I was like, if you got to do the whole thing, you got to do the whole thing. And so it really motivated me, and it's just something near and dear to my heart. And that's why I'm gonna come back and get it. And I'm happy for Mills to get it, because I remember the days when we were at 24 Hour Fitness talking about fighting like it was some pipe dream. Wow. That you don't really believe it's tangible. I mean, obviously, people like me and Mills are going to make it tangible, but understand what I'm trying to say. When don't know nobody in the game, just how it is, at least for me, it's crazy to understand. Now I got coaches that fought for Bellator, that train guys in Glory, that have UFC fighters. I'm training with UFC fighters, training with UNF guys, champs, training with pro Muay Thai fighters, and I can't help but be happy, grateful, blessed because I'm living my dream every day. I get to wake up at 5 a.m. to go practice before I go make some money and then go practice again and go to sleep and go do it again. And that's what I love to do.
Wow, man. Wow, what a fantastic mentality. I'm really happy to hear that. And I'm glad I could just be a part of that journey with you, man. You mentioned HB Fight Club and Squirrel Muay Thai, but that's kind of become a thing. And
For
I feel like, I feel like you're part of the reason that that's kind of become a thing. Tell me a
sure.
little bit about that rivalry and the continuation of that rivalry, because even if we look at Michael Claycomb, sure, his home base is Claycomb Karate, but I know he's getting some training in at Squirrel Muay Thai as well a lot of the time.
Honestly, shout out Granado. He's cool. I rock with Jason. But I was, trying, you see the game, you see different gyms, you want to go train places and whatever. And I was like, just new to this, wanting to go train everywhere. And I remember being at Blackbeard and I'm talking to you, and you're like, you're fighting XYZ. And my brain just did a 360 because I was smiling all over the place. And I was like, oh, okay, they want to fight me. That group of people wants to fight me. And I just remember thinking, okay, they see something that they want. And, obviously they ended up getting one. The journey continues,
Yeah.
but it was a great story. And I remember saying, okay, there's going to be something to this, and it's going to be a great fight, because obviously they wanted me. And the interactions we had leading up to that first fight, that first bout, made me realize they really did want my name and they wanted that win. And so, kicked it off for me in the gym. Things happened after, and we've continued to have this Squirrel Muay Thai versus Huntington Beach Fight Club thing. But again, dude, this is fighting. You're supposed to have loyalty to your gym. You're supposed
Yeah.
to there's supposed to be a little bit of energy, a little bit of oomph. And the problem between HB and Squirrel Muay Thai is they want to be the creme de la creme, and we want to be the creme de la creme. That's
Right.
the
Right.
problem. That's the problem. And they're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. So we're going to continue to match up for a couple years until we, go about our different ways, and we'll grow from it. The martial arts community will grow from it. Our fan bases will grow from it. And I think it's good. I don't think, I know it's good for us. And so, hey, let's keep them going. Let's go. And, World Muay Thai, I love fighting those guys. So, if it's me and
Yeah.
Nathan Hawthorne again, love to see that again down the line. Um, always good fights with those guys. But this
Yeah.
one versus, Mills and Michael is going to be a banger. It really is. It's going to be fireworks. You have the traditional karateka, showing martial arts. And I'm a martial artist. I did Taekwondo. So I love to see that. I love to see that for the game, putting on. And then you got the Huntington Beach Bad Boys, Milshawn, Kid Mills, the one really doing the thing, and gets to show how martial arts has evolved against the tradition of the Claycombs. And it's going to be a great story for Mills, a great story for Huntington Beach, and to show how martial arts has evolved and how we've gotten better. And no disrespect to them, they're coming to play. It'll be a great fight. But like I said, and the reason of this interview is we're coming for something. It's the gold. We want to be the creme de la creme, and we're gonna have to butt heads with people. We're not trying to be disrespectful. If they get disrespectful, if it happens, that happens. But we're just trying to get what's ours, and
Yeah.
and be the number one gym. And Johnny said something the other day, and I really want this too. We want to be the spot. We want to be the place where everyone's like, man, I don't know if you really want to fight Ian Holloway. That's why I was so pissed off. I don't want people to be like, oh, I want to fight Ian. You should not want to fight me, dog. I'm for real coming to rip you off. I'm coming to look pretty as hell, have the sexiest striking, and then walk out looking even sexier. I want to be crazy. I
Yeah.
want to do the thing. That's what we want to do at HB. We want to be different. We want to be number one. And so we're gonna butt heads every once in a while. And that's just the name of the game. It's
Yeah.
Huntington Beach Fight Club. We're gonna fight.
And you guys have not taken the easy route. I mean, I've given, I'm sure you could see it, my strategy to give you guys the fight that I think is going to help you the most at the right time. And for me, that's the most competitive fight that I can find at the time. And you guys have taken on every challenge. and done really well for yourselves. And I think definitely put a great name and created a great reputation for HB Fight Club. You and Milshawn have, and Caden too, man. Caden's come out there and he's a bad dude too, man. He's a bad boy. He's a Huntington Beach bad boy
You got
for
to get
sure.
Brian on there too. Chike got
Right.
to come back. You know,
Chike's done well too. Yeah.
whole gym, like I said, is full of specimens for our weight class. We can go around up a little bit, down a little bit, stay at where we're supposed to be good at. I've yet to fight at my weight class.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
cool with that though. I'm cool with that because we're not pros yet. We're supposed to get the experience. It's supposed to be different and challenging in different ways. You cut weight for this fight, you gain weight for this fight, you say the same for this fight. You know, it should be like that. And I'm very proud of my gym and my lineage and what Johnny's done for me and my team and how we're growing and continue to grow. It'll be a great couple years for us. It'll be a great couple years for us. And this is the beginning of it. This is really the beginning of a new chapter for Huntington Beach, a golden chapter.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll say too, man. You're all in incredible shape. I mean, whatever Johnny Mercurio's got you guys doing, he's putting you guys through the ringer out there
Tasha
because
too. They
man,
give us, man.
man, everyone on that team is ripped to shreds. I mean, all of you could be like models because you guys are all ripped to hell. So I wanted to say too, I love the rivalries, and I don't they don't necessarily have to be negative. I think you're talking about it in the right way. Everybody wants to be the best, and that's what creates the rivalries. And these gyms become like teams, right? Like teams on a football field or on a soccer field. And where I really saw that, I mean, I definitely saw that in your fight when you fought Trevor. I really felt that, team versus team dynamic. Most recently, where I saw it and it was really palpable was when Jason Granado fought Isaac De La Paz. Man, it was half the place was chanting Jason, and then half the place would start chanting Isaac. And that was just another crazy moment, man. So I'm loving the rivalry thing.
That was a that was a great fight, and shout out to you for putting on good shows and good fights.
Thank you, man.
Like you said, man, you could feel that the tides shift, go this way, and shout out to Jason for coming on top of a great fight, his toughest fight. But it's fights like those, it's stuff like that that helps everybody out, right? Because after a fight like that, somebody else is going to come up to you and talk to you from the De La Paz family or the Granado family or Squirrel Muay Thai or Vital Force, whatever gym, whatever it is. When there's big fights, the people that are into the sport will come out, and it's done a lot for me, and it's done a lot for a lot of other people. So it's good to have big fights. It's good to have gym versus gym. And again, dude, this is fighting. This if we have rivalries in football, the Steelers don't like the Raiders, or the Raiders don't like everybody.
Right,
And
right.
you even see it in basketball. Rivalries pop up in just one playoff series. It just takes one game. It takes one hard foul. It takes one punch, one kick to the head for a rivalry to start.
Yeah.
One small little thing for a rivalry to start. And it creates energy, man.
Yeah, no, I love it, and that's very well put. And you're a very articulate young man taking your LSAT, so I'm definitely not surprised there. Obviously, I wish you the best of luck in that. And it's been great having you on here, man. I'm excited to have you back in the lines. Then we're trying to plan something in South Florida as well. Our first Miami show. I know you're really excited about
Hey,
maybe
I'll be
maybe
there.
coming
I'll
out
be
here.
there, George. You know it, man. You know it.
For sure, for sure. And before I let you go, I mean, I want to say I really appreciate you doing this with me, Ian. Fighters Rep, I feel like is kind of where, like you said, people got to know who you are, people got to find out who you are, and I hope people continue to get to know who you are at Fighters Rep, because I absolutely love having you on the cards. All your fights are always entertaining. And I want to leave the floor to you. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to thank? Anything you want to say before I let you go?
Yeah, all glory to God, man. Like I said before, I've been really grateful this past couple of months and everything. And I feel like some people might not expect that, after not getting the results that I wanted. But like I said, man, I got great training partners around me, great coaches. I've gotten everything I've wanted after these fights. And the point is to get better. So all glory to God for putting me in the right positions and giving me the right fights at the right time. And shout out to my team, Huntington Beach Fight Club.